All right, welcome back. Quick video, gonna be short and sweet. Working on the tanks, letting the paint for the missile and bomb bays on the fuselage is still curing. It's still a little green. I don't want to go putting the air cylinders in and everything while the paint's still green and running airlines. So I kind of jumped over to the fuel tanks. I think I'm not going to really talk about how ugly they are. Stay away from that. I already talked about that. It's just it's a very, very bad layup versus the very first ones I had. So, what sucks is these are not hidden all that well. They're actually, you'll see them in the center section. We take the hatch off, so they look kind of bad. And the problem is getting them back in, which is why I haven't cut anything in this one yet. I didn't cut the holes or anything. I patched these to put my BVM stuff in the high flow that I do, because they're much smaller diameter, which I talked about in a prior video. But I don't know if I'm going to use this, because as of right now it doesn't fit in the place it's supposed to, because of the inlets on the jet come up through into that access bay there, which is where you can shut off valves, fill it up, and you can say all your motor stuff, typical access bay. So the hatch will come off. Well, half the tank tucks under that forward portion right there. So half the tank will stick out of the back. But because the inlets that it sits on are glued in wrong, they're glued in about an inch higher than the last ones, which is why I had so much problem getting these out. I literally broke bulkheads free from the skin getting these out. So hopefully I can get them back in, but this, because those inlets are up so high, it's hitting that forward portion of the fuselage that it slides under. Normally it's sitting too high. So it leaves me with one option, or two really. Two would be, second would be, least desirable is to get a new tank. It's actually three, but I'm not there yet on the third. Second, or the first, would be to trim the top portion of the inlets off, which would allow it to come down lower. Would work. And the third method would be to put the newly authorized fuel bags in. But the problem with that is I just don't have, we don't really have a source for that here in the US yet. And I don't have a fuel system for which you need a special fuel system for fuel bags, which I don't have. So until that becomes easier to get here in the US, I'm gonna hold off on that. So I'll probably do the first option, and cut the inlets down, which is going to be not going to be fun, but it'll work, and it'll probably at that point will allow me to get these back in without breaking something. So that might be the best option. But anyway, so I'm going to get going on this here. Let me get oh, here it is. So I've already cut the holes, the new holes. I patched these, drilled the little hole here for the vent, and I'm just using, like I said, the BVM high flow stuff. And all I'm going to glue in right now are these little brass fittings. These get glued in. It comes with a big brass kind of nut to go on the back side of it. I don't use these because I guess when BVN designed all this stuff, they come with the premise that the tanks are not assembled, and in most of their tanks you end up having to glue them together. So you can get to this back side and put this, put it in, put your glue in, and then screw this on from the back side, which pinches down on your wall. So can't do that when they're already assembled, so I just glue in this. Saves a little bit of weight because these are kind of heavy. Just more brass you don't really need. But I using their V-epoxy here. Mix some of this up. Wow, I really put out a lot without. I don't use tips, you know. It's cool if you're doing like I guess if you were doing a bunch of stuff, but, or you need to get into an area. But I don't use that, so. But yeah, I was, lost a lot of motivation today. These tanks, man, they just didn't realize how ugly they were actually done. You know, and looks is not all that important, even when you can see them like you can in this jet. You know, that's kind of a secondary thing, but the other downside to this is weight. Like, there's a lot of, I mean, because that big bulge that you see, all that is glue. When all they really have to do is put the two pieces in half, run a 1.5 to 2 inch piece of glass over that, and it's fine. But, I mean, look at that. That's a lot of glue. You know? Same way here, you know, I mean, look at that. That's what you see in the back. That's what's sticking out in the engine bay, or the engine bay there. So. But is the weight, you know, I'm always weight conscious just because these models, T1s models, are typically a little heavier anyways. But they fly okay, you know, they fly light. But I always try to save weight. I don't like just putting weight in for no reason. So I'll go, like I said, I go through and I clean up a lot of the excess epoxy and things like that, and it adds up, man. You can save half a pound to a pound on a model just by getting rid of excess weight and being careful where you put weight as far as glue and how you choose to, you know, run things like wire weight. Good Lord, you'd be surprised at what doing like the S-bus setups will do. I saved. I remember when I did my first jet, I actually took out all the wiring I had originally put in and did S-bus, and I saved, it was like 2 pounds just in wire weight. That stuff adds up, man. So I just usually put a little bit in here, and I kind of get it on the inside too. That way you kind of get that seal on the inside. And then put it around the lip. And I'll go back and clean these up. I've already sanded, you know, and kind of prepped the surface around these anyways. I actually have to put this in to get it to, this hole's a little tight. There it goes. Well, I might actually have to clean this back off and open this hole up some. That is not going in. I thought I already checked that. Now there it goes. Okay. There it goes. I'll just do one tank with you guys and call it a night. All right, so it's bottoming out. That's another problem with this. There it goes. See, that's another problem with the way they did their tanks. There's so much crap up here that you're not on a kind of getting into that raised area, so it's hard to get your piece in there flush. Yeah, see now it's nice and loose, so I can kind of reposition it a little bit here. There we go. Biggest thing is getting a good seal all the way around it. And I'll go back and pressure test them and leak check them once I get all the fittings glued on. Don't take much, you don't want to put a lot of PSI in them, but it needs to be able to withstand a little bit because, your refuel, you're filling the tanks, there's a little bit of a pressure as well. So, all right, I'll go back and clean up the excess in a minute. I need to get some Windex because Windex is you can spray Windex on glue or soapy water and then use your finger to, like you can do that for caulking and everything. I learned that doing Pro Seal in the military for bolt heads and stuff because you put Pro Seal on everything to keep moisture out of it, and which is a corrosion thing. And actually I need to put more on this. It's crazy they use that same Pro Seal to do tank sealing. I'm just like, ugh, it seems like that could be a better way to do things because that stuff is just over time degrades, and having to get it off, good Lord, getting it off was bad because there were parts that you would get it on and then you'd have to disassemble the parts and then you inspect it, and then there's certain parts that you reinstall. Well, you got to clean that high saw off of, I need to make sure that fitting, yeah, that's too high. Let me go one more. Let's just see what that is. There you go. So we got. Put a little bit more here on the back. Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine. He does. Bandit models, and he's doing some good stuff out there, trying to get some new jets to market and things like that, and hopefully I can build one of his jets here soon. I mentioned him before. He's kind of got some cool designs. I've seen a few of his designs that he's working on that he's wanting to release, so some different stuff that you don't see all the time, which is a good thing. So, all right, there's that. I may have to mix up some more to get this other tank. Yeah, let me go ahead and do this one. Getting close to flying season around here. Heck, I'm already starting to get sod grass, kind of starting to get some green in it. Heck, and it's not even March yet. Crazy. Seems to be early this year, but I am ready for it. Ready for summer. It's not too bad. Well, it's a 14-minute video. But yeah, I'd love to work with him and do something like an A6 intruder, man. That's like I think would be a really cool model. That and like a Tornado, you know, they got the swing wings mechanisms on them. Pretty cool jets. Not the A6 intruder doesn't have wing swing on it, but it is a cool jet, in my opinion. And it's one you don't see all the time either, which should be cool. You know, plenty of F-16s, Viper jets, and all these other jets. I mean, I get it. Most of them fly really well. But it'd be nice to see something different. Yeah, I might have to mix up a little bit more. These little paint sample things I got from somebody, the little paint things, they're great for mixing up epoxy on. I don't have any trusty screwdriver, but I got my trusty Allen, or ball driver here, Allen driver. I just try to get some in the inside, just to kind of, and plus on the material between the inner and inside outside to help seal. I have to mix up just a little bit more. Yeah, I like their fast setting stuff. I use it quite a bit. It's great for things that you don't want to have to hold for a long time, or stuff that's, heck, everything we use on these is more than stronger than it needs to be. But I like the stuff, the BBM. I used to do the HP, the 3M stuff, the HP20, because it's kind of clear, and this is kind of clear too. It looks white, but milky, but it dries almost clear. The HP20 is clear, which is why I liked it, but it's just hard to get. I don't have a good source for it. Seemed like when COVID hit, people were all over the world. I had some people calling me, hey, can you get if I get Hysol, or if I order some and send it to you, can you send it over to me? And yeah, I did it. I helped people out with that. So it seems to be easy to get. It's just went up in price. It's amazing how much this stuff costs. It's ridiculous. But then again, it is used for what it's designed for. There's a lot more aerospace and stuff. Man, every one of these, when I finished cutting it, they all went in, but now it seems like they don't want to go in. It's like the holes are too small, but I know they're not. There we go. Get them in there. I'll just screw it down, I guess. See, it's going in crooked. Ah, crap. I'm going to clean this one off. Alrighty, well, this is getting messy, so I may have to stop the video here, but yeah, I'm going to have to clean this one off and redo it. I may have to open up the hole a little bit more. So thanks for giving me some headache today. Let me get this off here. There we go. Huh. It's not going in. threads out. I got some glue on the threads here. Doesn't always go as planned. All right, so let's try this again. It's weird that that's not going down in there. Well, and part of it, the problem is too, is like I said before, the skins are angled, so it makes it hard to go into place. Clean off. Does not want to go in or go on. So let me clean this off. It's not my day. Let's try this. It's weird. I cut these holes earlier and checked them. Seemed to be plenty big enough, but now, okay, there it goes. Of course, now getting it back off. It's gonna be a problem. I may have to just wait until it dries. There we go. So I have to be careful on this one. You have to go back and put more glue around it once it's set up and get that plug back out. Oh, dang it. Let's see. Start backing it out just a Alright, I'm going to stop the, wow, that's 23 minutes. I'm going to stop the video and get back to it. So, sorry guys, I didn't realize, I got lost track of time, but yeah, that's it. That's all we're doing. So, you have a good evening. I'll get back to you guys later. Cheers.